Welcome to Mountain Cooking with Missy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Southern lane cake. Alright, now we're going to get started. This is the first part because you want to do this ahead and set it aside. You want 6 egg whites, and you're going to take the yolks, the 6 yolks, and set them aside because you're going to use these in the filling for your cake. So your eggs need to be at room temperature. That's always a good rule. It helps. Now you're going to beat these egg whites until they form stiff peaks. Now the egg whites are done. Right there is what you call stiff peaks. Just keep an eye on it. That only takes 2 or 3 minutes, and right there is what you're looking for. Now you want to beat together 1.5 cups of sugar and 1.5 sticks of softened butter. Now my butter is a little too melted. You don't want, just as long as it's softened. Mine got a little too melted, but make sure it's just softened butter, but I'll still make it work. But this is 1.5 cups of sugar and 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter. And you're going to beat this together until it's light and fluffy. You will add in about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now for the dry ingredients, you're going to need 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using White Lily. And 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I've already got them all in there together. I'm just going to stir this together for just a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to start adding in my flour mixture into my creamed butter and sugar. And I'm going to drizzle in about 3/4 cup of milk. I'm using whole milk in with it as I go. So I'm going to turn on my mixer on a low speed, and I just put in my flour mixture little at a time, and just drizzle in my milk. And I'm going to do this until it's well combined, but I'm not going to overmix it. And I'm going to pause it and scrape the sides down. Now you're going to fold your egg whites into your cake batter, okay? So, and I like to do this by hand. And by the way, a lot of you ask where I get my cute little Christmas t-shirts. This one came from my cousin's shop. It's called 7 North Apparel and Nicole's Boutique. And I will be putting their link for you if you want to go shop. You can do online with them, and they ship. So ain't it just cute? It's really lightweight. I love it. It's kind of thin, which I like. I just wear it usually with like a red flannel or something. But many of you asked, so I just want to let you know. But that's where I got this in at, and it's so cute. And I love Christmas anything, y'all. So I like to wear Christmas stuff. So there you go. Many of you asked where I got some of my t-shirts. So I'm just going to fold the egg whites in. Now, anytime you're folding egg whites or whipped cream or something like that in, you want to do it gentle like, and you want to do it like big circles, so you don't lose the volume out, because that's the purpose. And these kind of cakes with egg whites that you fold in them usually is like a chiffon style cake. So I'm just going to fold the egg whites in, keep going until it's all done. Y'all, have you ever heard of this cake? A lane cake. My Chris Oliver, Reverend Chris Oliver, a good friend of ours, sent me this recipe. and he's talking about how his Mama and all of them used to make these cakes. And I've had many of you asking me about a Lane cake. So I figured I would share it with you. So I want to just finish this just a couple minutes, then we're going to put them in 3 9-inch pans. Now I have 3 9-inch pans here. I like to spray mine really good with a cooking spray that's got flour in it, like a Baker's Joy or something. Anything like that, real good. And I just divide my batter out. I just keep going until it's all gone. Get it as even as I can. Now you want to preheat your oven to about 325 degrees. You're going to bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean when you insert it in the middle. Okay? I want to make sure you know this. You always want to pat your cake pan down and give it a pat on the countertop before you put it in the oven. Give it a little shake, gentle like. Gets all the air bubbles on it, out of it, and lets it settle down so it'll bake a little bit more evenly. Always remember that. Now the cakes are done. Another good indicator they're done is when it pulls away from the sides. And you can do that right there and it kind of springs back. They're done. So you want to let them cool about 10 minutes in your pans and flip them out and cool them on a wire rack until it's completely cooled down. Now while the cakes are cooling off, you're going to make your filling. So this is a stick of softened unsalted butter, and you're going to add in your 6 egg yolks. You're going to add in a cup of regular sugar. Now you're going to cook and stir this over about a medium heat just until it starts to thicken, but you don't want to boil it, okay? All you want to do is you want to just cook it until the sugar dissolves and it starts to thicken, and as soon as it does, you remove it from the heat. You want to add a 1/4 cup of bourbon, half a teaspoon of orange extract. I'm using orange extract. 3/4 cup of sweetened shredded coconut. I like the Baker's brand. It's the kind I like. 3/4 cup of raisins, or you can use dried cranberries. That's what I'm doing actually, because I don't have raisins, but they're both really good. 3/4 cup of chopped pecans. I'm using Priesters, as always. They're the best. I'll be dropping their link if you want to get in on some of their holiday deals. Now I'm going to add some maraschino cherries to the filling. These have, I chopped them up a little bit. This is a whole jar of cherries from an 11-ounce jar that's drained, of course, and I put them on some paper towels so they're not real liquidy. So I'm going to add these in here to my filling. Now you're just going to stir this in and let it cool completely. And it's almost always all the way cool. I'll get it out in a minute. And I folded in my cherries right at the last. So, but this is about ready to put in the middle of our cake layers. Alrighty, now it's time to put the filling in between the layers. So you're going to have, this is a 3-layer cake, so you got 2 middle layers of filling. So you're going to take half of the filling on this part, and then the other half will go on your other part. So let me get this on here like that, and just going to spread it out. Y'all, you can smell that middle part. It's good. Now if you don't want to use the bourbon in it, you can leave that out. You can just leave it out. But this is the way the original recipe calls for, is bourbon. So Let me get the other layer on. And put that on there. And then the rest of the filling. I call it filling. Alrighty. Okay. Spread that out. Now I'm going to, the recipe calls for whipped cream to put around the outside edges and on the top. But I'm going to actually just use Cool Whip because I like Cool Whip. Whipped cream is so expensive nowadays. To me, it's just, I like Cool Whip. Or you can use another kind of frosting if you want. But I'm doing Cool Whip is what I'm doing instead of whipped cream. And all right, I'm gonna get the third layer on top. So this is an 8-ounce container of creamy Cool Whip. Always get the red label. I got the Kroger brand. It doesn't have to be the Cool Whip brand, but I'm telling you, if you get the red label that says extra creamy, to me, it tastes better than the regular Cool Whip in the blue, because regular Cool Whip in the blue doesn't even have any dairy in it at all. So, I mean, it's good if you can't have dairy, but I like whipped cream. I want it to taste like whipped cream. So I put the whole thing on it and just start going down. You go down to the edges and just start going down to down the sides with it. Go all the way, push it like that. And I'm using one of those offset spatulas that helps it a little better. See, it's like that. And I just push it to the edges and down. This is really how I frost a lot of cakes. This is the only way really to frost a cake, especially a layer cake. It's like this, and it's a lot less messy. So I want to go all the way around the cake until I'm done. So the cake is all covered with the Cool Whip, and since it's whipped cream, I just kind of like to do some swoops and swirls and kind of make it look all pretty, like just make some little peaks on it. Not a lot, just so it looks kind of like that right there. Kind of makes it look a little fluffy. So there you go, guys. Now I'm going to let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll cut into it and do a little taste test. All right, y'all, look at this cake. It is really pretty. And y'all, it does look really good. So I'm going to bite into it. Take a bite. That white cake, it's very good, moist and tender. Definitely like the white cake, like I remember like my mama making. I'm gonna get a bite with a little bit of that filling inside. It's definitely a different cake. It's really good. It really is though. And I'm not, now this kind of cake is kind of for those people who are not fruitcake fans. I am not a fruitcake fan. I don't like fruitcake. But this is kind of like a fruitcake filling. But in between the layers there with the white cake and the whipped cream on the top, it's a really good balance. So this is a very good, it's like an unusual cake. It really is good. And I can see why they call it like for Christmas time. And I was telling you that Brother Oliver shared this recipe with me. He said his mama and his mama's sisters would make this cake at Christmas time and sell it. because it was like more of a Christmas cake. So there you go, guys. I know a lot of people have asked about a Lane cake. So this is my version of a Lane cake. I hope you make it. Any of your Christmas parties or dinners or whatever, y'all, you take this cake, and it definitely be a conversation piece, I'll tell you. It's really be good with some coffee or so good. It really is good. And I love the cake, the white cake with the balance of the filling. It's not overpowering at all. Really good. Definitely tastes like Christmas. It does. So here it is after I tossed into it. It's a pretty cake. So remember, I'm going to put the link down to my cousin's shop where you can pick up any little Christmas t-shirts. It's 7 North in Nicole's Boutique. I'm going to put their link down so you can check it out. I'll also put Priester's pecan link down there. Y'all, the pecans are all I use. They're so good. They're the best for baking anyway, especially for holiday baking. So, y'all, there you go. I hope you make this cake. Southern Lane cake for Christmas time, y'all. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching Mountain Cooking with Missy, where it's nothing fancy, just good eating. Bye, guys.